Their kidnapping has shocked the world, and now these first images of Nigeria's missing girls are likely to cause further distress.
On the night of April 14th, 2014, Boko Haram stormed the government girls' secondary school in Chibok, Borno State, northeastern Nigeria, and abducted 276 schoolgirls. Nigeria and the world were horrified. Within weeks, the Safe School Initiative was launched in May 2014 by the Office of the United Nations Special Envoy for Global Education, alongside the Nigerian government and private sector leaders. Its mandate was to protect schools and ensure that terrorists would not use a classroom as a hunting ground. To fund this, $30 million was raised. However, more than a decade later, over 1,680 schoolchildren have been kidnapped. More than 180 educational facilities have been attacked, and not less than 800 schools in northern Nigeria remain closed, with some repurposed as displacement camps. This is despite the fact that the Safe School Initiative was relaunched in 2022 with another budget worth over 144 billion naira. So, what happened to all the money? And why are schools still unsafe? Let's break this down. When the Safe School Initiative first launched in 2014, the Nigerian government committed $10 million, while private sector leaders in the country contributed another $10 million. International donors followed, including Germany, Norway, USAID, and the Qatar Foundation. This brought the initial domestic and international pool roughly to about $30 million. In March 2019, President Muhammadu Buhari ratified the Safe School Declaration as an international commitment to protect schools from attack during conflict. In October 2021, Nigeria hosted the 4th International Conference on the same declaration at the ECOWAS Secretariat in Abuja, marking the first time the conference was held in Africa. Then in December 2022, the government relaunched the program with a 4-year national plan on financing safe schools from 2023 to 2026, with a total investment of 144.77 billion naira. To put that in perspective, that is enough money to build roughly 14,000 primary school classrooms across the country. The federal government was to provide 83% of that, while states covered the rest. For 2023, 15 billion naira was released to get things moving. On paper, it looked like a comprehensive program. In practice, it was something else entirely. Where did the money go? In November 2025, terrorists abducted 303 pupils and 12 teachers from a school in Niger State. Days earlier, 25 girls were kidnapped and a vice principal was killed in Kebbi State. The scale of the attacks forced a response, prompting the Senate to set up an 18-member committee to audit everything spent on the Safe School Initiative since 2014. The findings showed money going to multiple agencies operating without coordination or measurable outcomes. During investigations, it was revealed that the Nigerian police received 6.2 billion naira from the 15 billion naira allocation. This was the single largest allocation. The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps got 3.4 billion naira, while the military received 2.25 billion naira. Meanwhile, the Federal Ministry of Education received 519 million naira, the smallest share. An undisclosed sum went to the Department of State Services. It was also found that a separate 4.4 billion naira had been spent on consultancy and operational costs rather than actual security infrastructure.
In Abuja now, the
Senators questioned the high consultancy costs and suggested that the initiative might duplicate existing security funding since the agencies involved already receive allocations through the national budget. They demanded full records of how the funds were spent, but none have been provided. This isn't the first time questions have been raised about the initiative's finances. In 2021, senators questioned why money had been budgeted for the program, yet nobody could explain how it was used. Their concerns led to a formal probe conducted with the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies, which later produced an investigative report. However, that report merely recommended auditing the $30 million, investigating missing funds, and demanding explanations from the Ministry of Finance. But nothing happened afterwards. No one was prosecuted, no money was recovered, and the government moved on, launching the 144 billion naira national plan in 2022, without addressing the unresolved questions. That is precisely why the Senate had to launch a fresh, more aggressive probe in December 2025. So, are schools safe? Under the initiative, a safe school was supposed to mean perimeter fencing, trained security personnel, alarm systems, CCTV cameras, rapid response linkages to security forces, and emergency-trained school committees. The reality is far different. 30 of Nigeria's 36 states have not operationalized the Safe School initiative at all. Approximately 42,000 primary schools and secondary schools in northern Nigeria have no perimeter fencing, while more than 60,000 of Nigeria's over 81,000 schools have inadequate security. Since 2014, more than 1,680 school children have been abducted. More than 180 schools were attacked. Over 11,500 schools shut down, cutting off roughly 1.3 million children from education. Because abductions disproportionately target girls, the ripple effect on female education in the North is enormous. Now, what comes next? As of April 2026, the government has proposed injecting another 5 billion naira into the same program, despite the Senate probe still being ongoing and no findings having been published. Nigeria has launched this program, abandoned it, relaunched it, underfunded it, and handed it to security agencies with very little to show for it. The children being abducted from schools today are paying the price for over a decade of announcements without delivery.